All right, everybody. How you doing today? Hey, Corona, what's going on, buddy? So, just to give you guys some context, this is the first stream that's going on since we've changed the name of the channel. Just a quick update if you're joining us. Dean is not a part of the channel anymore. Crow will be the only one doing the streams now. Of course, Origami, BPM Broly, Kayla, Sushi, Shadow. All the old team is still around. Everybody we still talk to. That's not changing. I'm about to cue Origami onto the stream in 3, 2, potentially 1. Origami, can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, there we go. Okay, guys. So originally the stream, I just wanted to focus on kind of this this Twitter fallout, this backlash going on between Nicholas DeOrio, who's a YouTube commentator, and Shilo. And for those of you who don't know who Shilo is, she is one of the women who has come forward against Onision. There's a lot of stuff with Onision. I just want to get one thing very clear. Everything I've seen about the man, he is an absolute scumbag. Now, legally, because I'm recording myself saying these things, I have to say alleged on a lot of these things, but in my personal opinion, I think calling him a child groomer is perfectly appropriate. If I had to guess, I would think that yes, he has had relations with underage women. I mean, I don't know. I don't know any other way of saying it than that. But that doesn't mean that there are not some wild inconsistencies with the Onision investigation. Now, a part of that is the people who have come forward against him. There are some things we're going to be talking about right now and their behavior. I would say a very large part of it would be Chris Hansen's involvement from To Catch a Predator, because some people have been fine pointing this out now, but Chris Hansen is not an investigator. He is not a cop. He is not FBI. Chris Hansen is a TV personality, and yes, well, he was the face of one of the largest shows on catching sexual predators, and we can obviously give him a great round of applause for doing that. He's just the face of that operation. He was hired to be the face of that operation, go in and interview people. He didn't investigate these people. There was a whole team of individuals behind him doing that, and I would just say that he does not have that same team working with him now. And you can tell based on the way that he's handled everything going on with the whole Onision situation. Now, before we begin, I tried to get this video clip put in. I will put a link in the chat because I don't know if there's one in the description. I do apologize about the problems with the Onision case. Now, John Swan has done about a 20-minute video for this. I'm just going to give you the preview so you can all watch it together. And I encourage you to take a look at this when we're done with the stream or later tonight, because it's he's very clear about what the issues are. I'll play this first, and we'll go ahead and take a look at it together. In 1 second, because we're doing this old school. Yeah, Aura's here with me. Unfortunately, my IT guy was not with me while I was putting the stream together.
Yeah.
There is also, to my knowledge, more than one FBI investigation open. I want to trust that those who help us in the situation.
We're having a hard time finding people that are actually victims.
Now, Aura, have you had a chance to check out John Swan's video yet?
I
I
did.
did.
Okay, so you're going to be familiar with the things that I'm talking about, but what were your thoughts before we get into it?
I didn't really expect him to touch on like certain laws, like pertaining to the U.S. For example, I didn't realize that grooming is pertained to be not illegal in the U.S.
So
Yeah. No, grooming is not. I thought it would be too, right?
I thought so too.
like,
But apparently it's not.
And
Yeah.
The state that he's in, or no, that he traveled to meet. I forget which one it was. Shilo or Sarah? I think it was Sarah. But the consent age is different. I think you can. What is it? 16 to 17.
Yeah. So I think the state that he is in is 16 years old. Is the legal age of consent. Now, there are a couple things there. I'll go into the big problems that he points out in his video, and I do encourage you to go take a look at it. First off, I think that you can call this man a groomer. He is definitely a groomer, but grooming is not illegal within the United States. So, as disgusting as that activity might be, yeah, Kayla, I am so rusty. I'm very rusty with the stream. But yes, no matter how you want to say it, grooming in the United States is not a crime. It is not a felony. It is not a misdemeanor. It is absolutely nothing other than something that will make your stomach turn and make you upset. And that's just the sad reality of it. Now, the next issue you have is there is this claim that Onision went across state lines, and I believe it was Sarah that he met with, and they say that they had underage, that she was 16 at the time they had sex. Now, the problem is, it is 100% a he said, she said situation. There's no proof that anything went on. There may be text messages that show Onision was trying to set something up, but at the end of the day, there's no actual hard evidence, and it took place so long ago that the idea that there could be any is just, that I don't even think that she has the phone that she had at the time. This is 3 years ago that this happened. Shilo, I think, has Shilo also has a couple other things. So that was Shilo, not Sarah. Sarah was the girl that he was grooming. Shilo.
Shilo. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Or, because I don't want to give any misinformation, because I don't want any hatred from anyone on the anti-O community who I hear it's very easy to offend them.
Regardless, you're going to get hate from them either way, but I think he pretty much groomed all of them. You know what I mean? Shilo was the one with the text messages, the phone that you were just talking about.
Okay, all right. Sarah's the one with the laptop.
Laptop.
Yeah.
Okay, so Shilo is the girl. Now, Shilo, from what I understand, doesn't have the original phone. There's issues with her being able to prove what happened. Now, Shilo also says that there are videos that were uploaded to Onision's YouTube page that detail and document the abuse that she was suffering. And I believe that part is correct. Now, there's a couple of problems with that. The first is, has anyone here watched any content from Onision?
I mean, the only thing I remember from Onision is the banana thing. So,
is he is he what you would call a documentary channel? Is he what you would call a YouTube personality known for his seriousness, or for basically being an idiot and a moron and someone who does satire without actually understanding satire?
Well, he does separate things. He has multiple channels. He used to have multiple channels anyway, because he used to have Onision Speaks, where I think that's where he was supposed to be more serious.
Mm-hmm. Now, but my understanding is the videos that that people are referencing, they're not on Onision Speaks. They're on his main channel, which is, it's a skit channel. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Kayla. If he's uploading these things onto his skit channel, what would the context of those videos be? He can just say that this was all parody, this was all made up, this never actually occurred, and all he has to do, and we're not talking about how we personally feel, right? We're talking about how it would be seen in a court of law. All he has to do is link to the banana video and say, why look at the content I put up there. None of this is meant to be taken seriously, and even if you really thought it was serious, why would I have uploaded it to YouTube for everyone to watch? Like, he's got such a defense to those claims that it sucks. It sucks because you watch it and you think, yeah, he did these things, but man, it's tough. And you gotta be real about the people making these accusations against him too. Now I'm gonna save Sarah because Sarah, to what I understand, it's her thing goes into this whole laptop situation. My understanding, the only mistake she's made so far in this entire thing was trusting Chris Hansen to deal with the situation properly. I'll watch Cecil McFly's video on it. I've been watching so many videos on Onision this past week to try to just make sure I have my head wrapped around it properly. And I really want to do right now is decapitate myself, pull my brain out of its skull casing and bleach it. I've been having to watch so much Onision content to make sure I have things correct. So the point of this video isn't so much Onision. It's just to make the point very clear that the people making the accusations against Onision have their own problems in the accusations they are making. Now, Shilo, her other issue is, and she's been very open about this, that she has a history of mental illness, whereas Onision, everyone just calls him crazy. And I think he's crazy. Ora, do you think Onision is a stable individual?
I think Onision's a douche, but whatever. I don't think that's crazy. That's just something else.
Yeah, so here's where you're at right now. The evidence against him are videos uploaded to his skit channel, and the person making the accusation is someone who themselves says that they have a history of mental illness. That makes it very difficult to prove in a court of law that Onision is guilty of the things he is being accused of. It sucks, but that is the reality of the situation. Now, the other circumstance, as I understand it, is the individual known as Kai, who, and this, sorry, I get confused with this one. Kai was Onision's wife, transitioned to Onision's husband, and am I correct there?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Okay. Now,
I mean,
I forgot her real name, but yeah,
Kai is the name.
So.
whoa, buddy, you can't say that. That's bigoted. Kai is the real name.
It is now, but it wasn't before.
Now this. Okay, so King Brawley, she suffered short-term memory loss from the seizure. Yeah. Look, this is what I'm talking about. As sucky as that sounds, and you can say Onision's the one who caused it, you can't bring her into court and take her as a credible witness. Unfortunately, she's not a credible witness. And she's not a credible witness by her own admission, which is the sad part. Now, moving on to the individual known as Kai. Kai, there seems to be just so much detail about. That is just its own quagmire of horseshit. But the problem is, Kai seems to be the only one that maybe there is a case against, because to my understanding, the only individual who was caught in possession of CP, which I'm not going to say the other thing because I know what that would do to this channel. That was Kai. Now, I know that the accusation is that it was for Onision, but he's not the individual in possession of it. That so really, the only person who there seems to be actual hard evidence against would be Kai. Now we go into the laptop situation and Sarah, because there was this laptop. This laptop had all this illicit information. It had the evidence. It had the proof. It had everything that would nail Onision to the cross. And this is where Sarah makes her mistake. She went and gave that laptop to another individual other than the FBI, other than the police. She was in contact with Chris Hansen. Chris Hansen said to give the laptop to another individual on his behalf, right? That individual would take possession of the laptop, and the Chris Hansen fake investigative team would be going through that laptop.
It was his web designer, Vince Cotra.
I thought it was his attorney. Wait. So he gave it to his web designer?
Well,
oh my God.
Involved with this heavily. You haven't heard what's been happening? Like, he had to fire his web designer. His web designer has been, filing false strikes on the to catch a predator community.
No.
You didn't hear any of that?
No.
Yeah, it's a big deal. And now Mr. Cotra is trying to smear Chris Hansen. He's the one who released what is it? His mugshot. Chris Hansen has a mugshot.
Oh my gosh. One of these days we'll do a whole thing about Chris Hansen. But can everybody understand why the Onision case is just a shit show? Because here's the thing, right? No matter what you want to say, King Brawley, Sarah has said that she gave it over to this individual. Sarah says that she took the laptop back after 4 months. At this point, it doesn't matter. You cannot show chain of custody with that laptop. Now, King Brawley, this is where this whole thing just goes and turns into shit, because this is how Shilo started calling for the deplatforming of DeOrio, was over that laptop. Here is the story behind the laptop. The laptop was given by Sarah over to this Vincent person who was at the time associated with Chris Hansen. That laptop remained out of everyone's possession for months. Nobody knows what was on it. Nobody's seen the details from the laptop. It just went into limbo. Now, later, this would be, I would say, last week or so, she says that the FBI told her it was okay for her to finally say that she took it back and she gave it over to them instead. You don't have chain of custody anymore, though, because at this point, the laptop left her possession, went into another individual's hands for months, and then she says she got it back, and then she says she gave it over to the FBI. Now, at this point, every single thing that they have against Onision can be completely called into question. Now, the grooming thing, I believe it. I think he did it. I don't think he even denies doing it. It's just not illegal. It sucks, but it's not illegal. It should be illegal. We should probably figure out a way of passing a law to ensure that it becomes a crime to be a child groomer. I don't know why we don't have that on the books right now.
Well, furthermore, Crow, them being in possession of the laptop, I don't even think they did anything with it. I think they just held on to it.
Mm-hmm. No, they didn't. They never opened the laptop. They never tried to get the files off of the laptop. They didn't do anything with it. Yeah. And mind you, while they have this laptop in their possession, Chris Hansen is doing streams about Onision and just doing all these stories about, oh my gosh, this terrible person, and getting money while he's doing it. So we've just discovered a profit motive. Now, like I said, it doesn't matter what you think about Onision. The entire investigative case being run by non-investigative people has just called everything into question here. It doesn't matter if you believe it. It doesn't matter if that laptop even has proof on it. At this point, Onision can just claim, I haven't... How? He's had the laptop for 4 months. How can you say he didn't do something to it? What's the FBI going to do?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not evidence. It would be thrown out in court in snap your fingers. It's done. So, that's it. That's where we're at with Onision. The man is a scumbag, a terrible person. Kayla, I mean, they don't even need to go that far. All they have to do is argue you gave it to a third party who was making money off of defaming my client. What are you gonna do? Yeah, oh my gosh, that's scary. AG, Kayla and I have the same brain right now.
I was thinking the same thing. Like his creepiest part. And what is it? Corona's right. He is a scumbag.
He is. But now here's the thing. And I am not saying that Onision did not victimize these women, because I really do believe he did. And I believe he has messed them up so badly in the head that I don't think that they are good individuals anymore. In terms of actually seeking justice, I don't see it. They went about handling this in the worst possible way. And I think a part of going to Chris Hansen was, it's Chris Hansen, and he's going to be able to get this out everywhere, rather than going to the police, rather than going to the FBI when this whole thing went down, right? Because we're talking about crimes going across state lines. Now, what happened was Sarah put out a tweet basically stating that the laptop had been turned over to the FBI, and that school was starting soon, and she put out her Venmo link and asked people to donate her money because she had to turn the laptop over to the FBI, and now she didn't have a laptop. Now, here's the thing. This happened, like I said, a week ago. Couple small problems with that entire story. First being, she was not in the possession of the laptop for months. She openly said that she had gotten rid of the laptop. Well, why does she just now need money for school for a laptop? You could say, I guess she borrowed a laptop from another individual, and she was expecting to get criminal evidence back. I have no clue. It's not the worst thing in the world to ask for money when you're struggling. But the problem was it's February, and obviously some of us have gone to college, and we can all attest that it's very rare for semesters to be starting in February. There's things that just don't make sense. Now, there was an individual on Twitter who had attempted to figure out, what school Sarah was going to. I think that goes too far. I don't think you need to be looking into these individuals. If you think she's being dishonest, just say something. To my understanding, DeOrio's response was to ask questions. He did DM Sarah, ask her about it. Sarah had apologized, said, she shouldn't have used her Venmo account, whatever. And that should have been the end of it, right? And I'll have DeOrio's video sent over. I'm going to put these into the chat here in just a second. But that really should have been how it ended. It looks a little suspicious, but what doesn't these days, right? Here's the problem. Shilo got involved, and Shilo started saying some terrible things because I have no clue. Now, what you're seeing on the screen is a tweet from Patient Zero. Patient Zero is Shilo on Twitter. Please report at Nicholas_DeOrio releasing private DMs and encouraging doxing of a 19-year-old girl. Hashtag deplatform predators. So, AG, what would you think is the... what do you think she's trying to insinuate there about DeOrio?
That he is a predator and a doxer.
Yeah.
Let's just be clear. Deplatform predators is the whole movement that she's a part of. So to put it in layman's terms, that's like using the hashtag I stand with Vic for your own personal thing. So that's the correlation, right?
Yes.
She should have used that hashtag on something like this because she's calling to arms the entire people who support that hashtag to deplatform.
And they went to arms.
Yeah, for something he didn't do, by the way. So,
and to be clear, I mean, you know, there are plenty of people who are going to ask questions with how big this entire case has gotten, and you know,
is there an echo?
Huh?
Is there an
echo?
Saying echo in chat.
Oh, hold on. I think when you talk, there's an echo.
Yo, kick me. Do this without me.
No, it's my fault. Okay, no worries. I got it. Yeah, everybody, I moved and I am dealing solo tech. I don't even have the headset, so you're probably picking up some reverb from the mic. I'll get that sorted out. The issue with what she was doing, beyond just calling him a predator and calling for his deplatforming, using a hashtag for her own personal benefit, you know, Nicholas DeOrio was forced to put his account into private mode all over this tweet. Now, there is nothing in this tweet. There is no evidence. There is no context. There is nothing. There is just her calling for the deplatforming of another individual by using something that she knows she shouldn't be using. And it worked. He was forced to lock down his account, delete tweets, and there was a bunch of people that came to his defense, but you gotta understand, it did not matter at that point because everybody just immediately took this woman at her words and went straight at this guy as hard as they could. She did something really great here too, which was to take tweets he had sent about other things and imply that they were about this case, imply that they were about what was going on. Now, she gave her laptop to Chris. Chris never handed it to the FBI. She's never said she wanted money the entire time. She got it back. You can kind of see these are not calling for harassment or doxing. They're just him asking basic questions about what's going on. And I think that's fair. I think it's more than fair if you are going to be asking for a private donation to a pay account, you know? Not a GoFundMe, not an Indiegogo, not something where it's tracked, where people can see how much donations are coming in, where you have to kind of you put it towards the purpose that you say, but your Venmo account, right? It's suspicious, it's shady, it calls a ton of things into question.
There's zero transparency, bro. You don't know if the donation has been like hit. You don't know how much money that person is receiving.
No, there's no transparency. There's nothing here. Because here's the thing, right? No matter what you try to do, no matter what you try to say and go, oh, you know, I really... Oh my gosh, Aura, I finally figured out what the echo was about.
What's the echo?
I didn't have the mic queued up to the snowball.
You fuck. Just keep going.
Hey everybody, this is Crow on his beautiful snowball mic.
Just keep going. Just keep going. Please, just keep going. Just keep going.
Now, actually, guys, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go back to the screen display. I want you to all see basically his response to Shilo, and then we're going to go and break it down a little bit more because it was bad, right? This is not something fun. This is not a good thing. I'm going to play it right now. I just want you to hear what he has to say about the things, why he was asking the question, his own response to these tweets. But specifically, I want you to understand what Shilo is doing in the background while accusing DeOrio of doxing people. I want you to see what she was doing, the threats that this individual was making towards people to get others to support her or to back down. Because oh boy, like, Onision is a terrible individual, but that does not excuse anything Shilo is doing here.
To summarize, Shilo accused me of leaking DMs, and then she literally went and leaked DMs. Shilo accused me of doxing, and then had to backtrack, but it turns out that she was the one doxing and threatening people from her alt account. Shilo accused me of harassment, and fortunately for her, Twitter support disagreed. However, to add insult to injury, they found her tweet violated their TOS on targeted harassment. Shilo attempted to deplatform me under hashtag deplatformpredators, and doubled down by calling me a creep, which absolutely could impact my real life and my job. Since then, she has called Bong King a predator in his private DMs by calling him a mini Onision. Shilo made a half-assed apology, but indicated even after her tweet was taken down for targeted harassment that I still deserve to be reported. And this was all over a few simple questions. If I wasn't skeptical before, well, I certainly am now. In the end, by slandering my name and epically failing at deplatforming me, she did succeed in one department.
All right. So, while she was calling him a doxer, a harasser, all of these things, she went out of her way to go to the individual who had asked to see, what school Sarah had gone to check and see if their semester was starting and if she was actually using the money for a laptop. Shilo contacted that individual and told her that she would find where she lived. When that individual privated her account, Shilo made an alt account, got into her DMs, and told her that she was going to find where she fucking lived over this. Then went over to Bunty King, told Bunty King, and you can see it if you pause the stream there where it came up, that she was saying that she's got family where Bunty King lives. Right?
No. That's the wrong person.
What?
It's
No.
Bong King. Bong King.
Bong King. Oh my gosh.
Bunty King is a totally different person.
Ah! Guys, I'm sorry. I'm terrible. See? This whole case is a fucking mess.
Yeah. By the way, King Brawley found the clip that Vince Lacotra lied about the thing. So just if you want to bring that up whenever again.
Yeah, I actually would. See, this whole thing is a mess, people. Like, I'm and Bong King, Bunty King, that's not so much a mess there. That's just me being an idiot. I'm terrible with people's names.
Different person.
I'm terrible with names. They both start with a B and they both have King. I'm awful with people's names, everybody. But yes, she went to Bong King into that person's DMs and said to that individual that her family lives in his area. She will find where they live. It is not funny. That is, I mean, what do you call that if not doxing and harassing? But Broly, King Broly, thank you so much for finding the clip of, finding that clip. Let me see. King Broly, did you put that link in the chat?
We'll go over it again if he does.
Okay. King Brawley, if you can, put the link in the chat, because if it's quick, I'll go ahead and play it so everybody can see what's going on. Yeah, no, here's the thing, right? If you want people to support Onision over these victims, you act like Shilo is acting, right? You go and attack an individual who's just asking basic questions. You tell people that you're seeking money to your private accounts. After Sarah had asked for money on this laptop, after DeOrio had gone through and asked questions about it, right? After all of this happened, after she had already gotten a ton of money from people, Shilo leads a harassment campaign against DeOrio, and then later asks people for even more money. It's man. Okay, so we've got the clip from King Brawley. Thank you. Timestamped at 32 seconds. Okay, I'll go right to it. Give me a couple seconds here.
Oh, what if King Brawley trolled us?
That'd be so funny.
That'd be great.
It would be. Well, I mean, I have to actually get to the timestamp on the video, but it's Chris Hansen. I got to 19 seconds. Let me pull this up on the screen so you guys can all see it at the same time. And I'll mute my mic so you don't have to worry about any echoing.
He had been saying and doing things that had become a sideshow to this very important investigation into Onision. And there was a lot of talk about a laptop. Let me address that right off the top here. So one of the victims, Sarah, had a laptop and a cell phone. And we were told that they might have pictures and some text back and forth that were relevant to the investigation. Sarah had a relationship with Onision and Kai. There are allegations that this was illegal and involved grooming and enticement. When we became aware that there might be material on the computer and the laptop, we shut it down. I contacted the FBI. The discussion went from the Michigan office to the Seattle, Washington office, and then we were told that somebody from the New York office, field office, would contact us. That didn't happen before the holidays. We've reached out again. In the course of all this, Vincent apparently said that the FBI already had the laptop, which is not true. So it became confusing and it became a big issue on social media as to what Vincent was talking about. What I want to make crystal clear tonight was that while Vincent DeCotra did involve himself, and I did have him involved in this YouTube channel and a website as a web producer, he had no involvement in the investigative process here. No contact with the FBI, no sources that brought in information so critical to this case. He did deal with some of the victims, in some cases effectively. But we'll get into this later with Stevie Wolf, YouTube streamer, and we'll talk about it in more detail. But we also have breaking news involving the actual investigation itself. And
All right, buddy. Thank you so much for finding that. But that just makes it worse.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's gonna strike you now. You played more than like 30 seconds of that.
I don't care. He's a bitch. That makes it worse. Like, doesn't it? How is that not worse when Chris Hansen's basically saying, I brought a guy in and this guy, he wasn't actually involved in any of what was going on, and yeah, there was this laptop and videos, and I man, see, I am not laughing because I am gloating at the fact that Onision might walk away right now. I'm laughing at the fact that how bumblefuck this entire thing is. And you know what? I don't know if Shilo and Sarah are bad people or good people. I don't know if they opened up those Venmo donations in good faith, or if they just realized that they got totally screwed by Chris Hansen. and that Chris Hansen was making money on this, that the YouTube commentators now questioning them on the Venmo account, they've been making money on doing videos about this. Why shouldn't they get a little bit of cash? They're the actual victims. They're the ones who suffered. I mean, I think that is kind of like, that was a very white sounding crow right now. What, bumblefucked? No, like, Aura, am I wrong here? Because I've been wrong a few times during the stream. I apparently confused Bunty King with Bong King. So.
Listen. Like, let's just be honest. This was used to bolster his channel. Take a seat or have a seat with Chris Hansen. And it kind of blew him up. This Onision stuff blew him up. He wasn't doing so hot before. And look at the falling out with Vince Nicotra. Like, now he's just being salty about it. So it's not even about the victims anymore. This is just about their content and what they can squeeze out of it. So
No, and it's like I said, Chris Hansen. You know, I'll give you another one of these crime shows. John Walsh, right? He did. You remember John Walsh, right?
America's Most Wanted.
Yes. He cared, and you could tell he cared because he still does the same shit. You know,
his son got killed. That's why he cared so much.
But you can tell that even to this day, he still cares about what he did there, and it means something to him. I mean, maybe John Walsh has started some 2-bit YouTube channel and he's tracing around crime cases to make a quick buck. I don't see him doing that. He seems to have way more integrity than that. But Chris Hansen, you know, I don't think Chris Hansen was into Catch a Predator because he enjoyed talking to sexual predators. I think he did it because he was good at the interview, and they paid him a lot of money to do it. And that's who he's become, and now he's trying to cash in as a YouTube personality on it. And, I mean, I think that he royally fucked this case up on so many levels, and that at the end of the day, he is going to walk away with all the money he's made off of it, the clout he got off of it, the many thousands of followers that came into him off of it, and he's not going to bat an eye. He's not going to feel bad about Onision walking away scot-free. In fact, I think every year he'll go around and he'll do a video about it and cash in just a little bit more, ride that damn horse.
Oh, yeah. Like, that's just where I'm at with it. I think he's just, I was going to say he's using Onision for clout, but I don't know. That's too far. But anyway,
I don't think.
Do you want?
Well, I was going to say, I don't. When I say clout, I mean, you got to admit, when he was covering that Onision thing, I looked at his social plate. I saw it.
He blew up. He blew up. I watched Chris Hansen. I didn't watch his show before, but whatever. So, would you like to take it on back to the DeOrio stuff, or do you want to just keep talking about this for a while?
I mean, the DeOrio stuff is pretty much, you guys have seen DeOrio's response. Now, I want you to go to Nicholas DeOrio's YouTube channel when you can. He's got a 20-minute video breaking all of this down, explaining, you know, exactly why he had to ask these questions, because he's seen other people get destroyed because, you know, nobody bothered looking into it, right? And, you know, he definitely, now he can speak from personal experience that people use these labels to shut other people down, like Shilo tried doing to him. So what's going on with Nicholas DeOrio right now? I don't know if he's been able to take his account off of private, and I've seen these people, they're still hunting for his head.
I believe he did, but the focus has shifted, Crow. Have you noticed that?
I mean, I'll be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday I was working a 12-hour shift, so if something happened yesterday, I was, well, and the Bernie, and the whole Bernie, Nevada thing.
All right, so Bong King, the guy you're talking about, he got doxxed because of Shiloh's escapades, and it's in his video, I believe, in DeOrio's video. And Pink Pineapple, that was the girl's name who put that tweet originally, and she misworded it to oblivion. So it looks like she's trying to find the school or place of living to dox her, right? But that wasn't the case. She just wanted to help confirm Sarah's story that school is starting around that time. And it was misconstrued, and Shilo went after her as well. And she used her mother's maiden name and put her information out there.
Yeah, so Pink Pineapples, he does mention that in his video. I don't know if he specifically mentioned Bonte King Bon King getting his. I just combined Bon King and Bunty King in the same name.
Bonte King did, like, it's at the end of it, the very end. So
no, he mentioned Bon King. He mentioned that Shilo was specifically saying that Bon King's family, or Bon King lived in the same state as her family, or like the same town, and that he would more than likely knew where he was, but that they did say that she said that she was coming up to Pink Pineapple. She DM'd Pink Pineapple and said that she would show up at her door. Shilo is not a stable individual, and you know what? If this ever does go to court and there is legal action against Onision and Shilo is called onto the stand, they are going to bring up the fact that this crazy nut job was on Twitter DMing people saying that she was going to show up at their door and fuck them up.
Real quick, David Smith, I agree with you. Kayla, thank you for the link in the chat. It's okay, Crow. Anyway, I don't know if you recall this, but Bong King Shiloh messaged him, I have family members that live where you live right now.
Yeah.
So she knows his location, and she's like, you're lucky my dad is dead or something like that, so he can't kick your ass.
Yeah.
So
that was I think those were part of the messages that she had sent him that were part of that DeOrio clip I showed. This my point here is not so much that I don't understand where these women come from, and not to say that I don't that oh my gosh, Onision's clearly innocent now. They're totally been railroading him. No, in this situation, I think you just have two very bad people. And I think DeOrio got in the middle of it. I don't think that Shilo is a good person. I don't even think she necessarily cares about exposing Onision at this point. I think that Onision's entire career is in freaking shambles. And the only thing that this girl can do to him now is help him grow by appearing to be mentally unstable and calling people into questioning everything that she is saying about him.
Everyone is on the unifying agreement that Onision sucks. He's a bad person, and he should get what's coming to him. Everyone agrees on that. No one disagreed with Sarah or Shilo about that point. They disagreed with the means that Shilo took primarily to shut DeOrio up because he was asking Sarah questions. That's what everyone disagreed with. But now they're labeled as they love Onision, predator defenders, etc. We've been through it, Crow. It's the same thing with the Kick Vic stuff. It's just changed a little bit.
And I guess that's kind of why this one stuck out to me as it was happening on Twitter. I remember because just so you guys have the background story, all I was trying to do was open up the Twitter account for this YouTube channel, and I was putting a bunch of these people on follow just so that I could see what was going on. And all of a sudden, a guy I watch, a guy that Aura watches, he's being called a predator because he asked somebody a question. I mean, the bar is so low, and that was all it took for everybody following that hashtag to just go absolutely apeshit insane on this guy.
And in return, they lost the support of the commentary community because all the commentary community came to, even the ones that Nick has argued with, like the quartering, they came to his defense. Cabos came to his defense.
Well, yeah, because I mean, look, man, the commentary community, they go at each other sometimes, right? Like, it's, drama channels be drama channels. What are you going to do about it? But, I don't think any of them would want to be put in the crosshairs like DeOrio was put into. And I think that they all understand DeOrio would come to their defense, too. This is wrong. This is wrong on every single level.
Nick DeOrio has been doxxed. He hates doxing. He got doxxed for... what is it? He called out and exposed a doxing server, a doxing Discord server, and they doxed him. So he has been doxed, his doxes are out there. He hates that stuff. So.
No, well, I mean, I'm being called a doxer, dude. I'm pretty sure he cares more about being called a fucking predator. Both of those things are wrong, though. We know that he's not a doxer because of the shit he's been through. I mean, look, how many people in I Stand With Vic, movement that we've both been a part of, that many people in this channel have been a part of. How many of us have just been accused of doxing for sharing a hashtag?
No, I've been accused of a lot of things. First and foremost, real quick, Devil Hunter Nero, what's up? Good to see you. Secondly, same thing. What is it? I hate women because while defending women in an argument because I stand with Vic. So it's
I'm telling you right now, somebody who hates you is going to take a clip of you saying, I hate women, and just put it on repeat.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, that's fine. They could do that.
I mean, Oh, hey, Toy Bounty Hunters. I finally minimized the screen so I could watch the chat with everybody. Yes.
You didn't do that before?
No. I am so rusty. Hey, I just want to say thank you everybody who has been in the chat with us. Kayla, thank you so much for giving the channel link. Thank you so much to King Brawley for giving me the Chris Hansen link to play. I apologize. I haven't done streams in well over a month. I'm really rusty, and I have a Cracker Jack set up right now in a little bedroom because I just moved out of state. So I appreciate everyone's patience with me. I appreciate you dealing with the very bad echo at the start of the stream today. But no, look, I think we understand why DeOrio is going through this right now. I think we all understand why we're upset with Shilo, but nobody here is gonna do that because they're pro Onision. I don't know how this dude has people watching his video. Like, who watches Onision's content at this point? Like, they're like, I see the calls. They like, oh, we want to get him deplatformed, and John Swan did this whole thing where he's going through and saying like, he hasn't broken any of the rules you're accusing him of. I'm just going like, why do you want to deplatform? Because I don't know who's watching this guy's fucking content.
Plus, if you have him deplatformed, you can't keep your eye on him if he does anything shady anyway. So he could just do it behind the scenes. You'll never know.
Ugh. Yeah, well, I mean, that's true. Now, guys, I don't have anything more to add into it that would not be considered victim bashing in some sort of way, because I only have nasty things to say about this Shilo individual. Not so much Sarah. I mean, look, worst case scenario with Sarah, she's had a bad rap, she trusted the wrong people, and potentially she put out her Venmo to try and get some money off of an incredibly bad situation that's only hurt her. Serious Crow, you need to dust off the rust. Yes, I do, Nero. But look, that's it as far as she goes. I don't see her being involved in calling for people to be deplatformed, in directing any hatred towards anyone. This is really Shilo doing this stuff. It's sad because this one woman is single-handedly destroying a lot of the respect that people had for all of these. I think it is good, though, in the sense that everybody I see talking about this now is very willing to call out Chris Hansen as being just being a fucking grifter in the worst possible way, throwing his dick into a situation he shouldn't have done it. He made everything worse, and the only thing that man cares about right now is his own money. Is the embarrassment that he's suffered over that. So if they really were putting out those Venmo links because all these girls want to do is get some cash after months and months and months of this, I don't blame them. I don't even care. Like, I get it. And I think some people donating money to them, they don't even care what they use it for. So I'm cool with that part. But Shilo going batshit crazy on a dude, using a hashtag so that she can get somebody's head is just the worst. And as bad as all that is, as terrible as all that is the end of this stream. One thing though, before everybody leaves,
I forgot to say something important.
Huh?
You forgot to say something important.
I was saying before everybody leaves.
No, like, listen, what's gonna happen, Crow, when Onision doesn't go to jail? What's gonna happen with this community? They're gonna turn on somebody. Who do you think they're gonna turn on?
Look, I mean, when Onision doesn't go to jail, you will see hatred directed in every single direction. You'll see hatred directed towards these commentary channels for daring to speak up to Shilo, while Shilo is going apeshit on people. You'll see people blaming Shilo for discrediting the case. You'll see people going at Chris Hansen, and I think the only individual who will not take any real heat over this. And the one individual who is really responsible for just completely torpedoing the case entirely is Chris Hansen. I think he's the only one who's going to walk away from this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest. Does anybody think Chris Hansen is going to get any shit for all of the garbage he's done?
Guess we'll have to wait and see.
Oh, man. Now, look, thank you so much for correcting me there, AG. This is why AG is here. Crow can't do anything on his own. Look, we were trying to get our Discord server set up. We're still working on it a little bit, but what I would like to do, if the chat is interested, I'm going to be putting up a link over to our Discord server. If you'd like to join us in about, I'd say 15-20 minutes, I'm going to be putting up screen share, and if you want, we're going to be watching the Yu Yu Hakusho Dark Tournament Saga. We're going to try to get through like the first few episodes, because they're really good, and at the end of our Sunday streams, join us. We're planning on getting through the entire arc. So I'm going to put up the stream. I'm going to put some music to play in the background for you guys while I get it all set up, and don't worry, I've learned my lesson. I will have my mic shut off so that you will not hear any of the background noise. But here, let me first start by saying that, guys, there is in the chat description a YouTube channel called Novo. Really cool, has really great beats. That was playing at the start of this video. It was probably the absolute best part about this stream, if I'm being totally honest, was the part where I wasn't talking, wasn't making any mistakes, and all you saw was Aura's incredible thumbnail, and you just listened to the best music playing in the background.
We should do a vote to see if they want you to sing people out for karaoke music and stuff. Get to vote. I want to do that. Crow, you should sing Time of My Life while we close out Fade to Black.
Want me to sing?
No. I'm just kidding. Keep going.
I was like, dude, I can barely do any of this other stuff, and I gotta get them the Discord link. What are you doing to me, man? What are you doing?
Just close this out.
All right, guys. Enjoy the music for now, and please check out Novo's channel. He's got great music and not a lot of subs, so it'd be awesome if we could support him.
No vote. No vote. No vote. No vote.
Carno! Came here to bug you, even though you're muted. Are you gonna stay
Everyone else
muted?
is muted too. Crow's muted too. No one wants to talk to us. It's okay. If Crow comes back with anything else besides Hakusho, I'm going to be upset.